Good morning, it's August the 11th, 2020, and we welcome you to Jake's Bounty. I'm already in the garage, let's get things going. Alright, thank you very much for tuning in to Jake's Bounty. I'm your host, Jake Hernandez. And it is August 11th, 2020. Okay, it is a Tuesday. It is a Punk Tuesday, a Fat Tuesday, a Burnt Tuesday, a Taco Tuesday. But we have Chili Verde instead. Why? Because it's leftovers. Alright, I want to go ahead and thank my music right there. It's provided by the Butthole Surfers off of their album Independent Worm Saloon. That was the song entitled Who Was in My Room Last Night? Who was in my room last night? Okay, we're going to have a short bio about Butthole Surfers later on, but right now I want to thank my sponsors. We have Joseph S. Stein, making me look so fine. He'll do the same for you, and he'll make you look and feel like $10 too, alright? We've got Ass Cleaner, that's right. If you're out there camping, or if you don't have any toilet paper, or if you're not near a facility, go ahead and spray this on your ass after you take a shit. Wipe it up with a towel, good to go. Ass cleaner. It's travel size. Alright. Also want to let you know about the taint guard, the jingle. You guys go ahead and come up with a better one than I have. It's not for your balls, not for your nard. It's for your taint guard. I know you can do it. Come up with a better jingle, and you'll get yourself a trophy and a chance to meet me, as long as you're in Fresno County. Alright? I want to go ahead and get to my bounty right now. It's right here. It is sobbing wet, like my ex-girlfriend. Alright, so we'll put up here. And we've got peach nectar. Let's see, Bud Light. Purple guava pear, bang. That sounds good. Also sounds very sugary. Probably can't have that because of my diabetes. Bud Light, there we go. Monster energy drink, and one more. Corona Light, there we go. I'll bag these up. Let's see, bag them up. Got a little shiz in my hand, got a little shiz on the table. What we're gonna do, get some ass cleaner, get a towel, good to go. Alright. And we're gonna go ahead and show you what I found on my little excursion today. I found a book, it's entitled Dumbo the Flying Elephant. I don't know if you guys ever heard this story before, but it's about an elephant who has big ears supposedly. And before I get into it, I just want to say that these books are hidden all throughout Kingsburg and other towns as well, usually with a note saying, enjoy, hide again, and I will enjoy it, but I'm going to share it with you first, and I will hide it again as well. I'm just going to share a little bit with you. Don't want to give away too much. The circus had come to town. All the circus people were getting ready for the show. Well, the ringmaster gave orders. The workmen put up the last big tent. There we go. There's the ringmaster. And there he's giving the orders. Okay. The circus animals were busy too. The mother leopard looked her new cub. The mother camel was proud of her new baby. And the mother seal was happy her baby had come. But one animal was not happy, Mrs. Jumbo the elephant. She had been waiting a long time for her baby, but so far it had not arrived. There she goes, right there. Other babies and their mothers. And then there's Jumbo and no baby yet. Alright, then one day the little elephant was born, and all the elephants came to admire him. He's so sweet, said the proud mother. I wonder what I should name him. Suddenly the baby sneezed, and shoo, his ears flew up in the air. All the elephants laughed when they saw how big his ears were, how funny he looks. They call him Dumbo. He looks like a Dumbo, they said. And Dumbo was the name that stuck. So great, now he's Dumbo. He's going to be made fun of for the rest of his life. Thanks, Mom. But Mrs. Jumbo loved her new baby. To me, you are the most beautiful elephant in the circus, she told him. And know someday you'll be a star. Okay, all right, Mom's in his corner. Okay. We're going to have to leave it right there. A little bookmark. And we'll come back to it tomorrow. I'll leave you on the edge of your seat. All right, gonna get to some news. Unfortunately, the Fresno State football season, as well as the women's soccer season and men's cross country and women's cross country, have been canceled. So basically, just the football season has been canceled. Deaf people afraid of not being heard, having their interpreters. That's right, because there's a Bill of Rights for the interpreters that they want to put out because, COVID actually, and they want to lessen the numbers of interpreters out there so they won't get COVID to deaf people, obviously, and it won't go back and forth. But the deaf people want it to be just independent like it is right now. I don't know if they'll get hurt or not, but I'll keep you informed. All right, some Fresno City College courses started yesterday, but you didn't notice because there was only 5% students showing up in the classes. The remaining 20,000 students showed up via the internet. Different times. Woman can't catch a break as after she gets her purse robbed, she gets hit by a car when she goes into the street after the suspect who robbed her purse. Fuck. All right, she's reported to be okay, and the guy who hit her did stop. You know, he wasn't on any drugs or anything. He just wasn't prepared for a woman to run out in the street. Unfortunately, the suspect who got away with the purse is still at large. All right, I did want to let you know about a correction from yesterday. The story about Kamala. He did not pass away from diabetes. He passed away from COVID-19 virus. What happened was he ended up going into the hospital for one of his daily routines, being that he's diabetic, and he ended up getting the virus there. And by Thursday, it was really bad, and he passed away then on Sunday. So I just wanted to do that recorrection, and again, send my condolences out to his family and friends. All right, want to let you know it is Robin Williams week over here at Ray's Video, and we have Mrs. Doubtfire and Aladdin. That's right, Aladdin. They're both right here, both of rental, and both $1. And 7-day rental, okay? So you can go ahead and get them right now. They're going quick. Go ahead and give me a call, and I'll save them just for you. All right, it is the 6th anniversary of Robin Williams passing, and that's why they were doing this. Very funny, very talented man. So sorry to see him go. I wish he was still alive. Because we definitely need some laughter, and he can bring it on. All right, I did want to go ahead and let you know it is National Friendship Day, so if your friend's next to you, like my dog, I don't know if you can see her, but she's right here. She's my best friend, and if you have a best friend, let them know how you love them and how much you mean to them, how much they mean to you. And it's National Friendship Day. If you don't have a friend, well, make up a friend. Maybe your right hand's your friend, your left hand's your friend, and you know what I'm talking about. Hey, this show's not for kids, okay? All right, do want to get to the Butthole Surfers bio. It's a little bit long, so let's go ahead and dive in. The band formed in 1981 at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. The founders are Gibby Hayes and Paul Leary Walthall. Haynes and Leary would publish a strange magazine. It would have pictures of colons, worms, puke, dead bodies, and from that, they would end up having a band. They never really had a name for their band in the very beginning. they had other names that they were fooling around with, and one of them being the Butthole Surfers. So that name stuck. They had the Matthew Brothers as the rhythm section, filling out the rest of the band. Quinn Matthews on bass and Chris Matthews on drums. They played their first gig over there at the Bonham Exchange in San Antonio. During this first gig, they would show pictures on the screen while they play in the background, and the pictures on the screen would be very strange pictures, obviously, colons, dead people, puke, other things, but also there was art that Gibby was doing and also showcasing on those slides. Okay, on one of those venues, one of those gigs, they went up to San Francisco. Up there, they met Jello Bifera from the Dead Kennedys. He saw and became a fan, and he ended up having them open up for his band, the Dead Kennedys, and TSL, which stands for the Sons of Liberty, over there at the Whiskey A Go Go, back in 1982, I believe. Okay, so after this, they ended up being able to get a record contract with Alternative Tentacles. All they needed to do was find a studio that would lend them the time to do it. And they ended up doing that in San Antonio, Texas at the Big Boss Records. And they ended up recording a EP, which is just entitled The Butthole Surfers, and it was released on Alternative Tentacles in 1983, okay? And it was very avant-garde, it was different. By this time they did have a following, so it sold, pretty well for their underground audience, and it only built upon more fans and more shows, and they were on their way. All right. After that, they wanted to release a full album on Alternative Tentacles, but unfortunately, they weren't able to get the time in the studio right away. And in the meantime, they released a EP entitled PCP EP. That's right, PCP EP on Alternative Tentacles. They were not able to release a full-length album on that record label. They ended up having to go to a different record label, which was they were signed to Touch and Go Records. They ended up having a friend who ended up knowing somebody in that record company, and they were signed in '84. And finally, they released their album Physical Prowess, Another Man's Sack. Sold better than their last two releases. This album was more psychedelic than their first. They went on a nationwide tour in 1986, and the second LP was released on Touch and Go Records, and was entitled Rembrandt Pussy Horse. That's right, Rembrandt Pussy Horse in 1986. So they didn't really have as many opportunities as other bands because, well, they wanted to call their songs, what they wanted to call their songs. Right there, Rembrandt Pussy Horse. In 1987, they released their next LP, Locust Abortion Technician. It was a real heavy album, and some say it was their best to date. Their next album was entitled Hairway to Steven and was released in 1988. Obviously, it's a play on the album Stairway to Heaven, Hairway to Steven. Then half of the songs were conventional on this album, and then other were more commercial. So they're trying to do, I guess, a little mainstream. In 1989, they released the Double Live album. Also in 1989, their second drummer, Nervosa, left the band because she ended up having an aneurysm. And this was going to be her final LP with the band until 2009, when she joined up with again for a tour. All right, so after that, they ended up doing one more EP for Touch and Go, and that was the EP known as Widowmaker. And it was a little bit of a disappointment. Gibby Haynes said he didn't like it, as well as the fans didn't like the album. All right. Next, they would go on to Rough Trade Records in the 90s. They'd released their album Hurdy Gurdy Man in 1990. Really didn't do anything. Mediocre sales. They again toured. And in April of 91, they released the next album entitled PIUHGD. I can't pronounce that, but if you can, go ahead. And also, that album was a bomb. Gibby said he didn't like that album, and neither did the fans. Let's see. After Rough Trade filed for bankruptcy in 1991, they would sign with Capitol Records, and many of their fans was thinking like, "Oh, they're selling out." Gibby and the rest of the boys, they thought, "Well, you know what? This Capitol Records, they signed one of the best bands back in the day, Grand Funk. Always a big love of Grand Funk was the Butthole Surfers." So they're like, sure, you know, nobody else is going to sign us. If this big league record wants to sign us, let them sign us. And they did. And the first thing they did was pair them up with John Paul Jones. And they recorded their 1993 album, The Independent Wormhole Saloon. And this is, again, a more commercial album. And this actually had a hit. The hit was the song you heard today, which was Who Was In My Room Last Night. It peaked all the way at number 24 on the rock track singles charts. The album would peak all the way at number 124 on the Billboard charts. This is what they're known for mostly right here. Is 1996. Capitol released their album Electric Larry Land. Went all the way to number 31 on the Billboard charts, on the modern track charts. Also being featured in the Romeo and Juliet Escape from LA soundtrack. And that song obviously was Pepper. Okay, that song went all the way to number 31, again on the mainstream rock charts. And after that, they were going to release another album called After the Astronaut. Unfortunately, it got held up. And in the end, by 2001, they ended up going to a different record company, Hollywood Records, and they ended up releasing the album Weird Revolution. Reached number 130 on the charts. The album had a song entitled Shame of Life, which peaked at number 24 on the modern rock charts. Although no new albums since that album has been released, which was back in 2001. Two live compilation albums have been released. They recorded and reunited in 2008 with the original lineup of Butthole Surfers, with Nervosa back on drums, and King Coffee as well on drums, and then filling in the rest of the band, the original members as well. They played their last date actually on December 16th and 17th of 2016, and they said they would like to tour again and have new material. Just right now they're on hiatus and they're doing other material, releasing solo albums. I believe Gibby is producing many albums, as well as other members that are producing other albums for other artists. All right, that was a short bio on Butthole Surfers. You can go get their music right now at any record store. I imagine you can hear them on Spotify, YouTube, Google them, you know. I just did a short bio on them. They're a great band. They have many books about them. You know, you can pick up their EP, PCP EP. You can also pick up Rembrandt Pussy Horse, the LP. Those are great albums. Of course, you know, Independent Wormhole Saloon is a great album as well, or Harold Steven. Any one of those would be great to pick up. I do want to let you know about tomorrow's show. It'll be a What the Fuck Wednesday, so I'll have a story for you, and you can decide, hey, is this real or is this fake? What the Fuck Wednesday, always fun. Before we do that, I want to go ahead and share my Chili Verde before I forget. So see, it is right here, Chili Verde. You see it right there. Nice chicken Chili Verde. Melted cheese on top. Flour tortilla. It's like a taco, huh? Here we go. Mmm. Delish. Some of it come out the back end on my paper. Alright. We're going to go ahead and take you out with more of the Butthole Surfers. And somebody was in my room last night. Or, what was it called? Who was in my room last night? Sorry. Alright, so you guys have a good rest of the day. And I'll see you tomorrow. Jake's Bounty has been filmed at Fornicate Yourself Studios, 2020.